Okay, please don't tell me you've done something stupid just because we won 3 games in a row. No, never, never. I would never do that. Oh, good. Well, I may have reordered the statue of Dubnik, started planning the parade, and I also made a statue, just for good measure, of Donato. What's up, guys, and welcome to today's video where the Minnesota Wild beat the St. Louis Blues 2-1 in overtime, with the hero being Ryan Donato, who has been great for the Minnesota Wild. This comes after the trade deadline, so I know we don't have Grandon. I know what moves happened during that time, but also that we signed Stoll, which was a good deal in my opinion. I think it's nice to have Stoll locked for 2 more years. I think he has 2 more years in him anyways, so I think that's a decent contract for Stoll. But we won this game 2-1 after a pretty decent showing, in my opinion. I think we had that as well against Detroit. We have kind of showed up a little bit more, and especially Devin Dubnyk has started turning back into the old Devin Dubnyk, the Devin Dubnyk from the start of the season. The Devin Dubnyk who saves every puck going against him. The Devin Dubnyk that kind of determines what kind of team we are. Because if we don't have Devin Dubnyk in top form, we don't look good. And Dubnyk doesn't look good because of the goals he concede at some kind of regular basis. He sometimes concede like a stupid goal, and he won't necessarily save like 20 big saves, but he will save you 19. And unfortunately, once you allow 40 a game, eventually you will lose games a little bit stupidly, and that has kind of been the case with Devin Dubnyk for the past month or so, but he has rebounded really well for the past 4 games in my opinion. And as well, Ryan Donato has been great. He's continued to be great, and in this one he gets the overtime winner, so fantastic. That line with Ek, Conan, and Donato has just been great. I really liked it. I like Donato as well on the power play. I think he's added like a little bit of dynamism from a shooting forward rather than just having our defensemen be the shooters. So he has been great. Really been impressed by Donato. But let's go into the game. First period, not a lot happened. A few chances here and there, not really anything great. Second period, the Minnesota Wild get a power play, which we don't capitalize on, but we get the puck eventually down low after the power play. Throws it in front, great pass by Stoll, right in front to Sugar. Those two were almost going at the deadline. They didn't. This was almost the last goal together. And it's a good goal. Sugar puts it in. Great pass by Stoll. It's a 1-0 game. Sadly, later in the second, we take a penalty. This time, they score. This happened off a deflection from a Pietrangelo shot, which hits Eriksson on the inner leg, just completely taken to Regan. Dubnyk is going right, and when the puck goes left, Dubnyk has no chance of recovering. 1-1, and that's how we went into the third, and that was how the third period ended. We had a few chances. I think Eriksson played a really solid game again. Eriksson has been fantastic for the last month or so. He's probably been one of our best offensive players, and I've been very impressed what he's done since Iowa. And I have kind of changed a little bit of my view on Ek. I thought he was just a big, scrawny third-line guy. He might work in that kind of aspect on that second line, actually passing the puck. He's been smart. He's been good at using his body correctly and using his surprisingly good speed, actually. And now he's starting to put the puck into the net as well and starting to make the plays that he has the potential to do. So that is awesome. He has a great chance. Jake Allen, of course, because it's Minnesota and Jake Allen, he has to have a banging game as well. He stands on his head, makes 10-bell save after 10-bell save, reminding you of 2017, where he did the same and causes us a good playoff run. You know how some people have a boogeyman? I know the Toronto Maple Leafs call Eric Stoll their boogeyman. He always scores against them. For Minnesota, Jake Allen. But in overtime, after a few good saves from Dubnyk, we finally get the puck back. Ryan Donato all of a sudden gets it like on the left. Not really a dangerous chance. He cuts in a little bit, gets a good shot, and it goes in. Hop corner. Jake Allen does not expect that puck coming, and that is what you get from a sniper. Sometimes you get the unexpected shot, and sometimes that's completely fools the goalie. This time, Jake Allen was not ready. That one goes into the top corner. He has a chance. It looks worse than it is. I think that's just a good shot beating a good goalie. At least on the day, because normally Jake Allen is about as solid as a paper towel. But that wins it. First home game for Donato. Great win. Now he has to kind of build on that. He has had a perfect start. He's made that call to look really good for Minnesota. So he has to build on that. Make sure this trade works the same way as the Kevin Fiala has to do it when he joins against Winnipeg tonight. Lastly, before I end the stream, I want to kind of talk about the podcast I was lucky enough to be invited into. It's called The Religion of Hockey, and it's a great hockey podcast talking about pretty much everything. It has Gravity, who I've been talking about before. I've been on his live streams a few times. I've been kind of involved with his community and his Discord a lot. And he's generally a really great guy in terms of YouTube. And he has made a podcast with 3 other people, and they have collectively made a great way of kind of listening to podcasts about hockey if you don't want to watch the mainstream ones. Definitely suggest it. I was on for the Trade Deadline podcast. I will link that in the description, where I talked a little bit about what the trades that the Minnesota Wild did, the Donato trade, and of course the Fiala Granlund trade, where I made a little bit more of a smart review of that trade rather than the raw force that you had originally in the video. There's a little bit more texture to this conversation that I had with him. It's about 15 minutes long, and it's definitely worth a listen if you want to kind of have my more sensible emotions. And it's definitely a good listen overall if you want to go through the other trains like Stones going to Vegas, Columbus going all out, and all of the other stuff that happened randomly on trade deadline. Wayne Simmons going to Nashville also going really hard in for the playoff push. So definitely recommend going there. I'm linking the podcast and their Twitter in the description, so go give them a follow, go give them a listen, and yeah, I'll speak to you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe as well on this video, go follow the podcast, and I'll see you guys next time.